All right, second day of statistics. You all did really well yesterday talking about how you would use statistics and why you would use statistics and how you collect data. Now, let's delve into statistics a little bit more. Today, we are going to look at types of data and the data collection process. Importantly, you should know what is a primary and secondary data. You should know what is categorical and numerical data. You should understand the data collection process and the various sampling technique, and you should be able to specify between types of categorical and numerical data. Now, when we collect data, we can collect it ourselves or we can use data which someone has already collected. If we collect it ourselves, we call it primary data. We know how we collect it. We know we could do it by experiment or survey. Whereas secondary data is actually data collected by other people. For example, census is collected by Australian Bureau of Statistics. There will be other data. For example, you can get reports, use the data that other people have collected. So there is advantages of using secondary data because, for example, census, we have to actually look at the whole population, and if I have to collect the information as an individual, I will not be able to collect all the information from Australia. So therefore, we need to use the secondary data from ABS, and you know that it is generally pretty reliable. All right. So for primary data, we might just go and collect certain information from particular group of people. That's all. Now, in terms of data collection, it could be census or sample surveys. Census means you are collecting it from the whole population, like what the ABS does. Whereas sample survey, you pick part of the total population to actually do your survey. For example, if Shenton wants to build a new bicycle parking area, would the school go out and ask all the students? If they do ask all the students, what that is actually a census. It's not a sample survey. Whereas the school might choose to just pick some from year 9, some from year 8, some from year 7, some from year 10, some from year 11, some from year 12, and that is actually a sample survey. All right, so you got to think about whether you're using the whole population or using part of the population. And in terms of sampling, it could be probability sampling or non-probability sampling. Probability sampling means that anyone in the population get an equal chance of participating in the survey or the experiment. Whereas non-probability sampling, not everyone will get an equal chance. You might be asked to volunteer, you might pick a certain group. Alright? Whereas look at the different probability sampling. For example, simple random, stratified sampling, cluster sampling, systematic sampling. Non-probability sampling, you can think about volunteer sampling, convenience sampling, purposive sampling, quota sampling, and so on and so forth. So I would like you to actually read through this page when you got the PowerPoint. Now, if you survey 400 students from Shenton, what is your favorite sport and how old are you? The 400 students would be a sample survey. It's not a census because Shenton has about 2,800 students. We are only looking at 400 students. All right? So we could have collected the data age 16 to 20. So if you look at this, it might be Shenton or ex-Shenton student. All right? Because the age going up to 19 and 20. All right? Whereas if you think about just Shenton itself, it could be just up to 17 or 18 years old. All right, so it could be a bit more. However, we know that this will be only 400 students. And then the data collected, some likes AFL, some likes rugby, some likes tennis, and some like cycling. All right, now let's think about this. Age is one category. Cycling, the type of sport, is another category. In this case, you are looking at the variables. The age is considered as a variable, and the cycling or the type of sport is considered as a variable. So now we can look at situation where how we classify the data. So in terms of data, we can classify it as categorical or numerical. And in terms of categorical, we can classify categorical data as nominal or ordinal. And then a numerical, you can think about discrete or continuous. Alright, let me explain the difference between these four. Let's have a quick look at this 5 question. What is the mode of transport for you to get to school? Who is your favorite singer? Which suburb do you live in? What do you think is your favorite fitness level? What do you think is your fitness level? Fit, unfit, or very fit? How do you rate the TV series? 1 star, 2 stars, to 5 stars? Now, you can see that there is a difference between the first 3 questions and the second last 2 questions. The first 3 questions, the mode of transport, bicycle, train, bus, driven to school, favorite singer, the suburb, let's say Subiaco, Mosman Park, Shenton Park. Now, is there an order to it? Really, there's no order. The only thing that you can think about is probably alphabetical order. So there's no particular order in that sense. Whereas the second category, categorical data, you can classify as some sort of order, for example, unfit, fit, and very fit, or 1 star, 2 star, 3 stars, or 5 stars. So now, what you need to think about is, for categorical data, we can split it into nominal or ordinal. Nominal means there's no order. It's based on the name. So, need a subgroup name to complete the description. For example, favorite color is blue, or green, or yellow, or whatever. Mode of transport, car, bicycle, walk, train, or bus. There's really no order. So if you think about N, O, link that to no order. Alright? Where's ordinal, OR? That's some sort of order. So, for example, fitness level, order, unfit, fit, or very fit. Or movies, 1 stars to 5 stars. And the achievement level, high, very high, and so on and so forth. So it does suggest some sort of order. You can think about ordinal and order. Alright? Now, the next one is numerical. Think about the first 3 questions and the second last 2 questions. First 3 questions, how many students are there in year 11? How many people travel on the train to work? How many dogs do I count when I go to the park? And then talk about the mass of a newly born baby in the month of June. Or what is the half-hourly temperature for the average day in June? Again, you can split that into 2 distinct groups. So how many students you are counting? Integer, discrete value. Alright? You can't have half a student. You can't have half a dog. You can't have half a people traveling on the train to work. Whereas mass of a newborn baby could be 2.85 kilograms, 2.86 kilograms, and so on and so forth. So therefore, the second category of the second numerical category is actually continuous, which means it takes on decimal places. So let's have a look. Numerical actually means number indicates a size. Discrete is only integer. Count in exact values such as goals, scores in a football match, number of students. You can't have half a goal. Alright? Whereas continuous can take on any value, not just integer, and measured in a continuous decimal scale such as mass, time, length, and so on and so forth. So let's have a look at these 4 examples. Can you classify each of the following data? The number of students going on a ski trip, what would that be? That would be numerical and is discrete. The type of vehicles using a certain road, types of vehicle, categorical. Is there a certain order? Probably not. Nominal. Various pizza sizes available at a local takeaway. Small, large, medium. So perhaps you can see that this is categorical and this is some sort of order, ordinal. Room temperature, numerical, and of course it is continuous. Alright, I'm going to stop here now. I hope you understood what I've said, and please, once you have a look at the lesson slide, please study the sampling technique. Thank you.